I'm going to try to make this episode of Verbal Smackdown quick and painless, unlike Raw. Because it took me like 3 times trying to watch Raw, and I barely got through it. I know I actually have a ton of notes for this, and I don't have that much to say. It's weird. So the first thing we see is John Cena coming out, apparently to risk his eye again. I'm always confused when he comes out now because he holds up this thing that's like it's like a napkin that never says never give up on it. I don't know what that is. It's probably actually a hand towel, but that's a really weird piece of merchandise. It's a very, very standard John Cena promo, so I'm not going to cover what he says. I don't know why they're still lying about Rusev being undefeated, because that's just flat out not true. Lana and Rusev come out basically repeating my thoughts, that John Cena is saying the same old thing he always says. They say this, but I'm like, you're saying what I'm thinking. And I say this story reflects one of the major problems with WWE right now. It's bound to have just been the same thing every single week. We've seen basically no real movement in this feud. We're just waiting on the pay-per-view. And the only reason that they have these two coming out and addressing each other is just to remind us that they have a match at the pay-per-view. It's boring. They're not even trading good promos. It sucks. But Cena actually does a thug beatdown on Rusev. And even steps on his head kind of like a heel would. It was kind of weird. It's the closest I've seen John Cena to being a heel since he gave Teddy Long the attitude adjustment. Even then, he was still a face. Then we see Dean Ambrose doing a news segment. And it wasn't funny. He just basically tell us that he's going to have Bad News Barrett sign a contract. I don't know how he's going to force Bad News Barrett to sign a contract, but apparently this is going to happen. Then we have match number 1, which is Luke Harper versus Dean Ambrose. Ambrose has the contract with him. And I thought to myself, you know what would have been cool? If we introduced this contract earlier and like Bad News Barrett kept ducking Dean Ambrose out of signing it, and we had this story building where Dean Ambrose was trying to get Wade Barrett to sign it, and we had this, and we could have some like comedy bits, and it would have been cool, and eventually it would have led to something instead of introducing it the Monday before the pay-per-view. Man, I wish we would have told that story. I know that Luke Harper and Dean Ambrose have the absolute exact same ring attire, just different colored shirts, and Dean seems to wash his. They try to make excuses for that Bad News Barrett, saying he has other priorities, and I ask the question, like what? It's not like he's been defending his title. It's not like he's been having matches, really. I don't know what other priorities he would have. In fact, the only thing on Raw and SmackDown we've seen him do in the past couple weeks is tell Dean Ambrose, "No, I'm not fighting you at Fastlane for the Intercontinental title." The match overall has only a few okay spots, but overall is kind of dull, which sucks because these two actually can be all right in the ring. There's a point where Ambrose has big DDT off the top rope, and Harper actually gets up first. And then I'm confused because the Dirty Deeds is just a DDT, but it's not off the top rope, and yet that puts him away. I don't know. Dean Ambrose wins. Then Triple H has a conversation with Kane and Big Show. They fully admit they actually had a plan for the Royal Rumble. We don't know exactly what it is, but they admit they had a plan. Kane and Big Show bicker. Big Show then brings up May 13th. I state, for a show that relies heavily on people forgetting things that have happened in the past, they've been making a lot of weird references to just very out there things, like Katie Vick and the May 13th fake Kane thing. Seriously. We have another Bray Wyatt promo. I don't know. I don't care. If it's about The Undertaker, fine, whatever. I'm interested to see the match, but unless Taker is unless Taker has got something really awesome, some really awesome stuff up his sleeves, I don't know how good this match is going to be. Dusty Rhodes shows up to step in with the problems between Stardust and Goldust. And then he makes a speech about how everything Cody believes in means nothing without family. Match number 2 of the night. Gold and Stardust versus A New Day. And I say, oh, thank fucking God we skipped the pathetic New Day entrance, because the last thing we need is to see even less people this week not shouting A New Day back. I say, for once, Xavier Woods is actually competing. So instead, Big E Langston's the one not in the match this week. I say, I really don't want to see Goldust and Stardust break up. They actually have really great tag team chemistry. Unfortunately, we know this is going to happen. Xavier, you know one of those spots where a guy runs after another one, and then he ducks and pulls down the rope, and he falls over the top to the outside? Xavier Woods does one of the slowest and most pathetic versions of these I had ever seen. It was so bad. It looks so dumb. And then A New Day wins after Kofi ducks a double team move, and Cody almost hits Goldust, but he manages to stop in time. And then Goldust pushes Cody out of the way and takes the Trouble in Paradise in his pin. Cody proceeds to try to help Goldust up, but Goldust seems to be so out of it that he keeps falling down, and then he delivers the Crossroads to Goldust. Then they have an interview with Roman Reigns. I don't give a shit. Cody then is confronted by his father, and he says that, according to him, Cody Rhodes is dead, and so is his father. So Cody's going full heel. I don't want anything to do with any of my family, sort of thing. I also mentioned that Michael Cole is in rare form tonight. He's fucking up all over the place. Seriously, he's terrible on commentary tonight. I don't know why, but he's saying the wrong people. He's giving out just misinformation everywhere. Michael Cole is having a Matt Striker night. Daniel Bryan comes out to apparently do commentary during our third match of the night, which is Roman Reigns versus Kane. Daniel Bryan actually says that he had one less title defense of Brock Lesnar, and that he doesn't feel that he needs to strip the title of him. I completely agree. This match was okay action-wise, though it showing that this is probably, as I've been saying, Big Show was not the person they should have been booking Roman Reigns fighting against. He has a much better match here with Kane. Still doesn't look that good, though. And he only wins because he manages to get a count-out victory. Still making Reigns look weak as fuck. Seriously, he's not gotten over at all. He is not looking like a dominator. He looks weak. I cannot believe, without turning heel and doing some bullshit, that he'll even get a tie with Daniel Bryan. Roman Reigns sucks right now. I think it's the booking. I don't think it's him. Then the Bella Steel Page is in ring gear. And she gets teased about canceling her match, and I say, okay, cancel your match. It doesn't stop you from competing at Fastlane. It's not like it affects her title match with Nikki. Like, okay, she just doesn't have a match tonight. Whatever. She proceeds to run into the Rosebuds, who starts doing their song and Adam Rose song and dance for no reason. She then grabs the girl in the worst looking outfit out of all of them. They say, for the anti-diva why is she immediately choosing the girl in pink? Just weird to me. Match 4. I wrote down match 3 twice. Match 4, Paige versus Summer Rae. I say I don't like the move where a Paige gets her opponent in the corner and then she backs into the corner and starts throwing elbows back. She doesn't have enough extension on the elbows to make it even look like it's hitting them. It's really a bad move. I wish she'd stop doing that. That or learn to make it look better. I say in this match, Summer has literally one move that looks decent. Outside of that, she puts Paige in a dumb fucking submission because literally there's nothing stopping Paige from just slipping forward. Except for the fact she was trying to sell a move that looked dumb. Because she had her legs, like, up around her arms. But you could see her shoulders could fit through. And if your shoulders can fit through, so can the rest of your arms. All Paige had to do was lean forward and she was going to be out of that move. And then Paige makes Summer Rae submit. Again, Paige is okay. Everyone else, almost every other diva we see sucks. I don't mind watching Paige matches. I just wish they'd pair her with someone who looked good in the ring too. Okay, then we have match 5. Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler. This was a great match. I absolutely loved it. Both these guys are athletic and awesome. Ziggler would have actually gotten the pinfall victory in this, but ends up with a disqualification win because J&J Security jump him while he's got Rollins pinned. I actually would not mind seeing these two tie up at Fastlane or WrestleMania, and then Ryback and Eric Rowan save Ziggler from being beat down 3-on-1. And then Triple H comes out to talk about Sting, and then Ric Flair comes out, and they mention that Ric Flair is a 2-time Hall of Famer. And I ask, are they acknowledging the TNA Hall of Fame? I think he's in the TNA Hall of Fame. They just kind of have a discussion about Sting, and eventually Triple H gets kind of pissed and shoves Rick down and doesn't really do much of anything. It was just like, hey, we have Ric Flair here this week. Let's do something with him. It's really all it was. Match 6. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say match 6? Because this match never happens. Darren Young and apparently nobody. There was a guy, but we never heard his name. Closest we ever got was JBL calling him Jack Splat. Versus the Ascension. And this is now the second match in a row where the Ascension have not cared about having a match and just come and started beating down people. I think not having matches is a very good way of not getting a chance at the tag team titles, by the way. Just a thing for you to know, Ascension. Titus O'Neil runs out and helps chase off the Ascension from beating down Darren Young. So kind of like a reunion of the Primetime Players. No one fucking cares. This entire segment, everything during this entire bit, everyone was silent. The crowd did not give a shit. They were texting, checking Facebook, doing everything, but paying attention to what the hell was going on in the ring. I see then apparently Wade Barrett is doing Miz a favor by knocking Mizdow down a few pegs, and in return, the Miz will stop Dean Ambrose. Now our actual match 6, because this one happens. Mizdow versus Bad News Barrett. JBL makes another really bad 50 Shades of Grey pun. He's got to stop doing these. He says that Dusty Rhodes has a book out called 50 Shades of Hay. JBL makes bad jokes, Booker T makes no sense, and Michael Cole's fucking up all over the place. We need Jim Ross back. Jim Ross has had bad moments, but goddamn. We keep doing the Miz interrupting whenever Mizdow is winning, and then Bad News Barrett wins. Afterwards, Dean Ambrose jumps Miz, and then jumps Bad News Barrett, ties up Bad News Barrett around the ring post with some zip ties, and forces him to sign a contract while Bad News Barrett is screaming, "This isn't legal." And I say, he's technically right. That's actually forgery. You're actually technically forging Bad News Barrett's signature. So I say, even if this makes the match official, Bad News Barrett should just get himself DQ'd at Fastlane. Why not? It's a normal match. He'll keep the title. Who cares? He already lost once Bad News Barrett already lost once clean up to Dean Ambrose, and he apparently was able to refuse him a title match all he wanted. So, not like it could hurt him, right? Same logic. Okay, we have match 7 of the night. A lot of matches tonight, actually. Naomi and Jimmy Uso versus Natalya and Tyson Kidd. It's a short match, mostly with Naomi and Natalya working, but they actually work really well together, and it was really entertaining for divas. Naomi eventually gets the win because Tyson refuses to tag in for some reason. I don't know why, but it's also said that Cesaro and Tyson Kidd versus the Usos for the tag team championships at Fastlane. With how they're having Tyson acting right now, I would give it to the Usos, but outside of this match, if we're not counting Natalie and Naomi really, because it was technically just Natalie and Naomi in this match, the Tyson Kidd and Cesaro are 3-0 against the Usos. So I don't know. So I'm gonna give it to the Usos at Fastlane, but we'll see. Then match 8 of the night. Could have been 9 matches, but that's a lot of wrestling for Raw this week. Daniel Bryan versus The Big Show. This time Roman's out in commentary. He doesn't do much commentating, and he just starts doing things like throwing t-shirts into the audience and stuff like that. Oh, by the way, during the Kane Roman Reigns match, Daniel Bryan kept distracting Roman Reigns with like yes chants and stuff like that. At some point in this match, Daniel Bryan looks really good. Here's the thing. Some people can work well with almost anyone. Daniel Bryan's one of those guys. He looks good in this match, even though it's Big Show. As I said, Roman Reigns looked a lot better wrestling Kane than he did Big Show. But that's kind of shows, like, overall how Roman Reigns is. He's not the kind of guy that works well with everyone. Daniel Bryan is the kind of guy that works well with almost everyone. So Daniel Bryan looks good in this match. At one point, the Big Show accidentally spears, I think it's an accident, accidentally spears Roman Reigns. So this is actually a really long match for Raw. I'm like, how long this is though? I mean, even Daniel Bryan, who's really good, this is still getting boring. This is starting to get boring. It's like a 15 to 20 minute match almost. Big Show eventually wins, even though Daniel Bryan looks like he was gonna win legit. Because Roman comes in and Superman punches Big Show, giving Big Show a DQ win. And then the show ends with a pull-apart brawl between Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. I think you already know my thoughts if you've been paying attention about Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. By all accounts, everything they've been making it look like, Bryan should win this match at Fastlane. They'll be dumb if they do. They'll be even dumber if they make Daniel Bryan the heel. I want to see Roman Reigns turn heel. And either win or sneak in the double countout or whatever the heck they have to do that way. I think that's the best way to save this story. It's probably not going to happen. Anyways, Raw was really hard to get through. Mostly because it dragged at the beginning. It got later, it got better. Take care, everyone.